Okay, this is part 2 of my Avis review based on my personal recent experience with Avis Rent-A-Car. Um, so we were talking about a lady, which was the second call I placed, a lady who told me, no, we can't give you the BMW X528. You can be upgraded to one class to the next class up. And then I told her, I said, miss, the guy in the office above you already agreed that because the website indicated that I could upgrade that far, they were going to go ahead and keep that agreement. And she said, well, no, that's not going to happen. And she said, well, what I can do is I can run it up to my manager. And I said, well, that's fine. You can go ahead and do that. And she said, it'll take a day or two. And I said, no, that's fine. I've probably got 5 or 6 days left before I got to be in Pittsburgh to get pick up that car. So take your time. Do whatever you can. And so she did, and we disconnected. I walked about halfway down from the place I was eating my breakfast and having my coffee to back to the hotel I was staying at off of Peachtree Dunwoody in Atlanta, Georgia. And about halfway back, I just wasn't satisfied so far. I was like, it only took 2 minutes to fill this app out, and come with me back inside. I'll talk some more. It only took 2 minutes to fill this app out. Use my app and get this car approved and pay for, and got the reply back that everything was okay, and I could pick up my car on that date, confirmation. So it was really quick and smooth, but now, I had to go and call to find out that it doesn't look like I'm getting a BMW. So I just wasn't satisfied yet. So I decided, all this goofing around, I should have just Googled the branch office myself in Pittsburgh and talked to them. Maybe the manager there could make sense of all this and do some digging for me and see what's going on, really, because I'm getting a bunch of different answers. So what do? I call the branch office. And I get this lady on the phone, answers within like a few rings. And I talked to her and I explained the problem I was having and how many times I had to be transferred, and I was getting different answers. And I went on for about 3 minutes because you guys know me, I can talk, right? I'm a talker. This lady let me go for about 3 minutes, and then she said, sir, I have to interrupt you. I said, why? She said, because I have a customer. I said, ma'am, I'm a customer. She said, yeah, but I was talking to him before I answered the phone with you. And I was like, well, why would you do that? I mean, why would you even answer the phone? Somebody else could answer the phone that had time on their hands. Why would you interrupt me in the middle of my story to, deal with a customer? First off, that was rude to him for you to even pick up the phone while you're dealing with him. Secondly, now you got me upset because I just spent 3 minutes of my life, wasted 3 minutes of my life explaining something halfway to you, and now you're going to put me on the phone with somebody else. But I still wasn't totally angry yet, so she said she would put me on the phone with the branch manager because it sounded like I had some issues, and I was beyond issues. My issues had issues. Okay, my issues needed tissues just about now. Anyway, the manager got on the phone. She looked at my coupon code again. And she said, sir, it looks like you can only upgrade one class to like a Charger or something like that, a full-size car. You can't have a BMW. And I said, okay. Well, let me tell you this. Let me tell you what the website said. And let me tell you that I've gotten 4 different answers now, 3 or 4 different answers now. And let me tell you what the website told me I could do. They told me I could get a BMW. As a matter of fact, I got an email with a red BMW on it, no other car on the email. Then, as I was filling out my confirmation, filling out my application, my code was right beneath there. My coupon code was right beneath there, and right to the left was a box with nothing but BMWs in it. I said, and I mean, everything was pointing at BMW. So, I mean, it's just a really bad way. If that's the case, it's just a really bad way to trick people into renting one of your cars. And I don't appreciate it. I said, so here's what we'll do. We'll just agree that I will pick up whatever car that you have sitting there for me when I get to Pittsburgh. But if it's not a BMW X528, you'll never see me again. I won't be your customer. I'll go someplace else. I'll drive whatever you got, but I won't be a customer. And I'll probably tell everybody else that they shouldn't be a customer either, because if you're going to treat a preferred customer this way and trick them into stuff like this, then I mean, here's an important keynote. I'm going to stop right here. Here's my opinion, okay, with websites. And it's this. They show you all this flashy stuff. They pretty much twist your arm into wanting the flashy stuff. And then they put a bunch of fine print down where you can't see it. I mean, you're not even looking for it. It might even be on the next page that you didn't even go to because you just went ahead and confirmed and expected to pick up your car when you got there. So, manipulative, misleading advertising ploys and fine print to stick it to you, even if you're a preferred customer. So if they're going to do that to me and you're not a preferred customer, hell, you're never going to even see a BMW. But if you're going to do that to me as a company, then what are you going to do to your other customers? And this is what's going through my mind. So anyway, we agreed on that. But boy, I kept on walking, and I was getting more mad as I was walking. So what did I do? Another phone call. By this time, I'm about an hour and 15 minutes into this. I made another phone call to the corporate headquarters to tell them about how displeased I was with my first experience trying to rent a car from Avis. I got somebody on the phone. Just try to make this part short. They dumped me off onto another phone number. I got back to customer service, which is the original call that I placed. I was trying to get to corporate. I got to customer service. Nobody in a corporate building. And I told them I want to speak to somebody at this point that has the title Customer Relations Specialist. And if you don't have anybody by that title, please put me in touch with somebody that's really close to that title. And so they dumped me into the phone bank again, and I got back to customer service. Nobody in the corporate office, nobody in corporate relations, or customer relations, nobody like that. Now I'm getting upset. Now I'm getting hot. So the next person I talked to, listen, I just told them I wanted to speak to somebody in the corporate office with the title Customer Relations Specialist. Now please put me through to somebody in the corporate office, your head office, that has the title Corporate or Customer Relations Specialist, or something really close to that. And then I got this lady, Faye, on the phone. Faye seemed like a nice enough lady, and she was willing to listen to me for all of about 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. And at that point, she said, well, listen. She said, listen, I could let you go on. She said, but what I really need is for you to send me the email that you got. Can you attach that email to an email and shoot it to me? I said, absolutely. But I'd like to continue with my story. I said, you were what? You were a manager there? And she said, no, I'm a floor supervisor. I said, well, do you want to make manager? Because managers would probably listen and not cut people off until they were done. A good manager would anyway. I would. I'm not a manager. But if I was a manager, you can bet I'd hear you out before I wouldn't cut you off in the middle of what you were trying to say, especially if you'd had such a bad experience so far. But she was bent on just having me go ahead and shoot it. She said she'd like to hear the rest of the story, but she wants to get that email first so she can start forwarding it to the appropriate people, which I totally understood. You know, that made sense. That was probably the first thing that made sense to me. So, but we weren't going to have a conversation anymore after that, and I didn't know if I'd ever hear from her again. So I went ahead and said, okay, we disconnected. And about 10 minutes later, from the inside the hotel room, I shot them an email, and it said that it might be 2 or 3 days before they get, or 1 or 2 days before the manager gets back a hold of me. Pretty much like that last lady told me it was going to be. And I was okay with it. And then I got an email that night. Same night, about 2-3 hours later. Stay tuned for part 2. And I'll be doing this. I mean, part 3, and I'll be doing a song. Stay tuned.